Do you know all the types of numbers that we are dealing with? Yes, you are at the right spot. We are going to explore the world of numbers right now. Numbers, the alphabet of all the sciences. It is an essential fact to be aware of the kind of numbers that we use in mathematical calculations. So let's get started with MathMasters. We can divide all the numbers into two categories. Those are real numbers and imaginary numbers. Any number that you deal in day-to-day life or any number that can be represented in a number line is a real number. So the question is, are there numbers that we normally do not use? Yes, those types of numbers are called the set of imaginary numbers. Let us have a look at imaginary numbers. These numbers also known as complex numbers. In the 16th century, a mathematician called Cardan was the first to involve in this type of numbers. But it was the great mathematician Euler in the 18th century who represented this to the world, the fundamentals of imaginary numbers. So what is it? Simply the square roots of a negative number can be known as an imaginary number, where the square root of minus 8, or the square root of minus 1, or square root of minus 2.5. Those are few examples for imaginary numbers. Square root of any number to the left side of 0 in the number line falls in this category. We will cover up how to find the square root of a negative number in our video, The World of Imaginary Numbers. Just simply have the idea, square root of any negative number can be identified as an imaginary number or a complex number. Let us get back to the real numbers. There are two types of real numbers, which are known as rational numbers and irrational numbers. The numbers that can be expressed as a ratio of two integers are known as rational numbers. But keep in mind, the dividing number or the denominator cannot be equal to 0. If we divide by 0, it gives an undefined situation. Now we can easily define the set of irrational numbers. The numbers that cannot be expressed as a ratio of two integers are known as irrational numbers. What are these? The infinite decimals with non-repeating pattern belongs in this category. Numbers such as the square root of 3, the square root of 5, or square root of 6 belongs here. Even though we find the square root of 3, as long as we can only have an approximate value. Another fine example for this is the 5. When we divide the circumference of any circle by its diameter, always we get a same value, which we call as 5. No matter how long we calculate the value of 5, it never ends, and we cannot have a recurrent pattern as well. Coming back to rational numbers, we can subdivide them into fractions and integers. Again, the integers can be divided into two sets as negative integers and whole numbers. Integers to the left of 0 are negative integers. Integers to the right of 0, including 0, are taken as whole numbers. So what is it about 0? Is it positive or negative? What do you think of it? Let me know in the comment section below. I have got answers for you. In the set of integers, there are some other words that you might have heard. As we said, positive integers including 0 is the set of all numbers. But when we eliminate the 0 from the set, it is called natural numbers or the counting numbers. In the set of fractions, there are two types of fractions called finite decimals and recurrent decimals. Fractions such as 3 over 4 is equal to the 0.75, which means 3 over 4 gives us an exact decimal value. These types of fractions fall into finite decimals category. Fractions such as 1 over 3 is equal to the 0.3333 blah blah, and it never ends. Since the number 3 is repeating forever, we can denote it as 0.3 bar, which gives the meaning the 3 bar represents that the number 3 repeats forever. These types of fractions belong to the category of recurring decimals. Now let's have a quick glance at the taxonomy of numbers. Hope you enjoyed the content. Let us know any other math concepts you need to know in simple terms. We are here to make you understand the basic math concepts in simple terms with fun and ease. Do not forget to subscribe Math Masters so you will not miss any valuable and interesting math concepts for your life.